Welcome to all the fans of the written word and those who love to explore Tulsa with us.
We do appreciate you sticking around. Did you know that the first newspaper in Tulsa was first published 120 years ago?
That's right, Trish. 1893 gave birth to the Indian Republic, which would change its name in 1905 to the Tulsa World.
And world writer Charles Briggs and his wife would take a few years, but eventually they team up to spread good news around T-Town with the Tulsa Beacon.
Yeah, the newspaper business when I started back in 1977, we typed our stories on typewriters and we took them to a typesetter, and they printed out what's called galleys, that they would put a thin coat of wax on the back of the galleys and cut them and trim them and do a paste up. So they have a page they would actually, was a pasted up page that they would take a picture of, and they would burn a plate and they go print them. You know, and now it's all computerized. Where there's no, used to when you walked into a newspaper office, it smelled like burning wax. You know, but we don't have waxers anymore because it's all computers. Well, we've actually started two newspapers. In 1984, I was working for the Tulsa World, and I was covering Glenpool, some other suburban cities, and Glenpool didn't have a newspaper, and local business people asked us if we would start a paper, which we did. And then we ran that for several years and sold it when we started having kids. Now, I was working for the Tulsa World, and I did the Community World sections that from 1993 to the year 2000. I took a job in Denver, and my wife and kids stayed here, and trying to sell our house. And while I was in Denver, I found out that the company, the magazine I was working for, wanted to move to New York City. And we determined that we did not want to bring our family up there because it was just too harsh a change. So what do? Well, it had been in my heart for a long time to start a conservative, Christian-oriented newspaper, and we decided to start the Tulsa Beacon.
That we've really enjoyed, I think. A lot of couples wouldn't like that, and they've told us as much. But we get along fairly well. I mean, you know, he does his thing and I do mine, and we just kind of coordinate those efforts and try not to oversee, you know, what each other's doing, just kind of make sure we're both going in the same direction.
You know, when we first started, you had every newspaper had a darkroom, and you would use a black and white film, and you go in and shoot your film, and then you go in and develop it and hope it turned out okay. But now it's electronic, it's digital photography, which you can go out and we've shot 200 photos at a football game at no extra expense. And then we have design. We design our paper on computers. We don't have a printing press. We send a PDF version of our pages every week to our printer, who is in Muskogee, the Muskogee Phoenix. It's a daily paper down there. We send them our paper on Tuesday afternoon. They send they bring it back to us at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We take it to the post office, and our subscribers get it on Thursday. So it's a very smooth and very efficient system that works real well for us. You know, every week we get people call and they say, "God bless you for what you're doing." Almost every day in the mail we get people that are resubscribing. We get a lot of retention of our subscribers, and they'll put a note in there, "Thank you for telling the truth. Appreciate it." And you know, sometimes you get down in the dumps as you had your own business, and you know, things aren't going right, or if the money's not where it's supposed to be. And then God sends along one of these encouraging notes, or somebody calls and says, "Please, please keep doing what you're doing." And I've never been in business before that was like that, you know. But so I feel like we're really fulfilling a need, and that's very satisfying.